Yeah. Yeah. From your last question, answering your last question, I had a good weekend. Took the went away for the weekend for Easter weekend with the family, but I was still grinding and getting shit done. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
always.
Always something.
I never stop. You stop,
No,
then you don't grow.
exactly. Yeah. No, I have to take my laptop with me everywhere because you don't know
Exactly.
when you're going to need it. Hence today, not that it's working at the moment, but anyway. Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. So you
Yeah.
wanted to have a chat about LLMs first of all, and that you have a person in finance that you know of that's looking at the whole AI in a box and how it can be secure. So
Yeah, it's about that as well as and I've got another friend as well, and he knows a lot of sort of security firms, so quite some fairly good sized ones. And I was thinking this could be good for them as well, in the security as well. So it's really, yeah, I've been looking into LLMs, and also maybe sort of SLMs if an LLM is too big or whatever. So I saw a couple of your YouTube vids about sort of starting to build these things up. So yeah, and I was just sort of really interested, especially in your last vid you did with Paul as well. So it's like, oh yeah, this is really making me think here, and it's like, um, yeah, how I can approach different people. Whereas beforehand I was like, well, not just usual automations or assistants or whatever, something a bit bigger, a bit deeper. So yeah, so that was like perfect for that. So just really just, yes, a bit more information on that, in the fact of sort of what I suppose your AI in a box. What I don't know without too much, or we're going into too much here, but how can that sort of uh, really help these people out, these companies, and I suppose the size of the company as well. Like sort of, I suppose it depends on the sector, but what sort of a standard size, sort of like medium to large, or is it, questions like this really? Uh, yeah,
so let's start with your first question,
yeah,
between SLMs and LLMs. So I've worked
yeah.
on SLMs already, and unfortunately, SLMs won't work because they're not complex enough, or
Okay.
there's not enough data. There's not enough trained data on it to actually get like a precise answer.
Okay.
You would have to run a SLM with a lot of LoRa. So LoRa's
Yeah.
are what's it, low ranking Jeez, now I can't even get to the thing. Because I mean, that what's actually a sorter instead of low ranking. It's simulated.
Oh yeah. Go.
Yeah,
It focuses down onto the
exactly.
to the train the data on. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, you'd have to slap on. You'd have to have a lot of pre-trained loaders on top of your SLM to actually get what you want to do. But then it's already going to be too heavy. Then you're looking at, let's say if you had to do a LLM that's only 8 gigs big, your loaders that you're going to slap together on a SLM is going to look at least something like 12 to 16 gigs worth of
So it's just
VRAM.
pointless.
And then you might as well just go for a train thing. Like let's say you use Mistral for more. Mistral's actually very good for finance, I would say. That's, but you can look at the on Hugging Face. There's a link. I'll send it to you now, later after this meeting, on the rankings of the open source LLMs, and all of these are free to download, free to use, and they're already
Perfect.
pre-trained on quite good and synthetic data, so they run a whole bunch of tests against them. So you can actually pick and choose, okay, here's a LLM I can actually use, slap on a pre-trained LoRa if you know how to do that, just to quickly refine it to one specific niche, and then all you need to do is just plug it into an API. There's a way of how you can load it onto Olama, like your own pre-trained LoRa, LLM with a LoRa, and package that together as a new sort of LLM. Load that into Olama, use the Olama APIs, or even if you know how, more complex stuff is Ooga Booga. then you can actually slap the LoRa separately with a LLM and then plug that into an API and then task it to do some tasks. So getting to your question, or getting to the guy, the finance guy, can you give me some background on what he's actually looking for? Because I mean, then we can actually probe the right questions on what to ask him and then actually be able to build him a product. Because if he's
Yeah.
interested in
So
something like
they
that.
they here we go. They mostly do property finance, business finance, um, and assets and things like this. So investment loans, bridging loans, development loans, and all these sort of things. And they would say medium, not massive, but not too small either. Um, and my friend works more on the property finance side, but he knows the owner well. So, and it's one of these things where I know they don't really have anything in place. We've had a little chat with him, and just a nothing too deep or anything like that, but just a small thing. And they haven't really got anything, I suppose, sort of future proofing themselves in that sense. So when I heard about your AI in a box, I was thinking, great, this could be something that, especially with all the all their dealings, etc. This could be something that's really could work for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's the sort of thing there that they do.
So even
Um,
coming to that, so how you guys working with finance and doing loans and those type of things? I think one of the biggest things in any sort of finance that they're handing out is risk calculation. And if we had to think about it, they probably have to buy risk calculators or have external risk calculators linked up to the repo rate and so forth. So there's a lot of data that they need to also look at, from a client's perspective, like the credit rating and the history of
yeah.
purchases, to actually sort of work out the risk. So I'm guessing they paid quite a pretty penny, or paid quite a bit of money just for some sort of risk calculator. Whereas we can actually build them a future-proofed AI built risk calculator,
Okay. Yeah.
which won't need updates in the future because it learns by itself. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
So you can train the current LLM. Let's say for instance we be funny, we use Mistral 7B, right? It's a 7 billion parameter model.
Yeah.
Now we build an API structure on top of it and give it the right prompts also to get it to get the right data to it.
Yeah.
And we'll build a LoRa based on all the previous data that they have on clients, and then it can learn from that. And as each time it learns, you sort of train Mistral also to be more accurate in that sort of sense. So that, I would say, that is like an easy ongoing service that you could actually build for your client within maybe 2 to 3 weeks, and have an
Okay.
MVP, have a custom worker, what we will call this risk calculator worker, because this is
Yes.
what we're doing. We're building an AGI unit here. It's going to use some sort of LLM, refine for finance. We'll build the
Yeah.
LoRa based on his data that they give us. We'll refine the entire thing together, make sure that it hooks up to any sort of APIs, such as like the repo rate.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to do a repo rate calculator. You can just do repo rate, and yeah, we can literally go crazy with this. And for the more data that this thing gets to read, the better the LLM is gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but in that same instance, also with finance, now you're talking about, you don't want stuff like this to go over the wire. So
Yeah.
this is where the AI in the box sort of feature will actually help this client quite a bit, because now nothing needs to go over the wire in terms of client data. Only thing that goes over the wire is the API to the risk, to the current repo rate that's currently in the country. So let's say it's set at whatever percentage basis points. Then we'll always read it from there and then do the risk calculation. See what is the risk factor, based on the client. If there is any history of the client that it can get hold of, it will give such a more better forecast of how good is this client. Is this client going to be risky? How much can you give this client, type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
No,
So
sounds good.
it will
Sounds
be
good.
able to work out how much money you can actually give to this client at the least amount of risk, or depending on every risk factor. Let's say we're looking at let's put risk in percentage wise now. Let's say we have a 70% risk of non-payment. Then you could say like maybe a finance loan of £3,000. I'm just using examples here.
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
have a risk factor of 30% that they want that of non-repayment. Then you do something like, okay, we could do maybe £70,000 type of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that can be created and built upon, like with my software development team. We can build this thing for this person. But then obviously we'd want to do the drop in AI in the box. They have their software. They have it. It's all on prem. It's not going to go into the cloud. Yes, cloud is a good thing, whatever, but it's again over the wire. And then there's
Yes.
cloud costs as well of a cloud engineer and all this and that and that and that. Our whole idea is to boost businesses with the least amount of inference cost.
Mm.
So, and how do we get that right? Literally the AI in a box solution. It has the most it would cost is maybe two people's salaries that works on this sort of thing,
Yeah.
versus for 1 year, whereas the hardware will last you for 3 to 4 years, running non-stop, and on top of it as well, it's a 1 year salary. The rest of the years is net.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's all the time constant as well. So it's not even yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
stop. It just keeps on working. So you could you could
And gets
you could
better and
SaaS
better the more it trains on the data. So in the
exactly.
end, it's
So
the
you
far
can
superior product.
exactly. So you can even get more clients. You can you can make this into a SaaS. So you can have
Yeah.
your entire finance calculation and give the loan all based on this entire software as a service platform. So yes, we'll do the back end work for you guys, for the
Yeah.
finance guy. The finance guy can have his front end guys make something beautiful on the front end, on the web front end, and then it will just literally coincide with our APIs, pass it back and forth,
Yeah.
get exactly what you need to do, fill in all the documentation, and then boom, actually approve and pay.
Yeah.
All online, actually all online, because I know there isn't anything that does it immediately online unless you're already with a bank and you do it via a bank app. And
Sure.
because the bank already has data on you beforehand to be able to do that risk assessment and calculation. Now you can do it with AI, and the AI will do it for you with no problem. You don't have to worry about this type of thing. All you have to worry about is your data, because if your data is accurate, everything else is accurate.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 No, sounds great. Sounds great. Yeah. Yeah. He's got there's a lot I can take to him here. Um, and yeah. No. That sounds really good. That sounds really good. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. And then what else was it? Yes, that was one of my main things there. And then I was also thinking in that regards to that as well. One of my friends works with he's in with a few security firms. So they do a lot of not just sort of people at the door and sort of general front of house and that stuff, but also a bit of I suppose surveillance and some sort of more informational tech. Uh, and again, they said, so they're slightly behind the well. I say behind the ball, but they're not up to speed with all the current trends here. And I'm just thinking here because he's quite well in with one of the guys, how this might. I don't know if you've used it at all for any companies like this at all, or how um, how that might be able to, because obviously being security, you can have all the information, they can house it on their own premises, everything else there. Because I think that would be for them, if they're in that field anyway, it just highlights even more how secure their systems are for their clients.
Yes.
So again, I think that could work really well with that as well. It or I mean, if you train it again, just sort of training on the right data, etc. Um, yeah, I'm just sort of thinking how to approach him about that because he's a good friend of mine and he'll be up for it as long as he knows it's something that can work and he can put it to them. It's definitely something that could fly there as well. So I'm just trying to think how how I can sort of package something up for them there, other than saying all your data is secure, no cloud. I mean, maybe that's sort of the best thing, that it'd be sort of future-proofing internal. It could be done offline. The security is going to be there. You got that USP to competitors, and then there's a constant updates as well.
Yes.
Um, I think, yeah. I mean, and again, it's just training it on their own data, I suppose, and
Exactly.
that's pretty much it.
So before we go even further on that, first things
Yeah.
first, I need to ask on security. What sort of security are we looking at? Is this sort of like guarding security? Is this sort of cameras, camera tech security, or are we talking about online security and data security?
It's a bit of sort of security guards, and then also a bit of internal sort of data security as well. They do. So one of the leading firms in the UK, or the top security firm in the UK, and there's also another one as well, which they're up there as well. So they all do a bit of everything, but this other one does a lot of data as well as sort of men on the ground, so to speak, and everything else there. So yeah, so that's let me just double check on what they. There we go. Yeah, so they do facilities management, technology, the tech side of it. Yeah, they've got an investor report. Okay, so central. Yeah, so they do quite a lot in a lot of areas, as well as they got their fingers in quite a lot of the different areas, but it's mostly security, yeah, global finance as well. So they do, yeah, sort of security, office decarbonization, digital transformation. Yeah, so they do. It seems like they do a little bit of everything here. But yeah, so it's just something I can say to my friend who knows one of the top guys there. What what this can do for them, really, instead of doing a cloud version or something like that.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, because of the whole cloud hype, everybody jumped onto the cloud. I mean, I was one of them as well, and I worked for a company that used to do everything on premise, and then they moved a lot of the things to the cloud. But then as soon as we started with the AI stuff, we saw that doing anything AI on the cloud is ridiculously expensive, especially training. It becomes a nightmare. It's so crazy expensive, and it's because people don't know, and second of all, don't know how to get hold of these type of technologies. The technology is getting better and easier to use right now. I mean, the whole transformer technology is what changed everything, and now Nvidia is leveraging on that. I mean, I don't know if you saw the whole Blackwell series of stuff that's coming through. So that's gonna make things inference much more faster as well. Even though you have companies like Grok building their own chips to do inference, which already is ridiculously fast. But would they be able to keep up with companies such as Nvidia that can just spit out a newer chip that can do that and extra, and then they blows the inference and makes it cheaper also as well. So then the company becomes null and void. But like coming back again to the whole security. So if they're doing anything sort of finance, we know we need to have HIPAA compliance. That's where we covered on HIPAA compliance, because
that's definitely yeah.
So remember, that's again AI in a box. But like, I think you need to actually give them, maybe this might be a good thing, and I'm gonna show this off onto this video. This is also recorded. Let's first of all see if it is running correctly. I just want to see if the stuff is because I'm running quite a bit of stuff here. I think this is it. Let me see quickly. What is this running? Yes, it is. Yeah. Okay. So I just need to make sure that Yeah, that is running fine. I'm gonna share my screen now. Let's share entire screen. This is top secret stuff on my end.
Okay.
Alright, just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a SEO web querying tool that we've prototyped here in house. Also based using currently Llama 2, but we're gonna slap on Mixtral soon and actually test this out.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's do me a favor, send me on Discord if your Discord's still running, the link to that website, and then we can actually do something here.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it's back up and running now. Here we go. Let me just had it. And I started this page to get rid of the last one. Here we go.
So I mean, if they want to offer a SaaS, we can build something for them to have a SaaS for
Here
a
we
SaaS
go.
service.
I'll put it through Discord link here.
Yeah. All right, there we go. So this is elementary. Okay, there we go. So let's go that. This is the website here, right? Alrighty, and let's do a vulnerability check on that. So I should see inference setting there. Yep. So now it's hitting the large language model. It's already gone through a RAG system, so it's already scanned the website. So it's actually going to look now for vulnerabilities on this website, them as a security company. So I mean, maybe this we could give them feedback based on this. There we go. So I will copy this, and there you already see it's already picked up a lot of things that usually you would pay someone quite a bit of money to do a quick pen test or a quick scan, and this thing did it in I don't know how many seconds, but I'm gonna pass it on to you. That's the the message is too long. Lovely. Okay, man, I need to get you on WhatsApp or some other platform. But yeah. Alright, I'll stop sharing now. Presenting. Stop presenting. Let's go back here.
I'll just put my my mobile there on the Discord for WhatsApp.
Alright, cool. Okay, I'm gonna kill that from the video like once I upload it so that nobody sees that. Yeah. Well, I'll put my number there. Oh, man. And then I'll send you the response. But yeah. Essentially.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I mean that just looks super like quick on that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the power of AI. I mean, I don't have to be as, let's say for instance, I'm a pen tester and I have to go through all of that to do pen. Then I have to run through a couple of apps, run through a couple of scripts, and then just do what they call a WASP zap on the site. I don't even have to do that. AI is doing it for me.
Yeah.
In a much quicker way. So instead of me myself as one person, that entire application we split it up in agents. So each agent runs on the same LLM, but each agent gets a chance to do its piece of work. So it works as a team. Something very much like Crew AI, but it's our own little in-baked stuff. I'm not going to show the code or share the code to people. No. They're going to want it. This is not open source. It's closed source stuff. Yeah. But yeah. So essentially it works a lot like Crew AI. So I would have a RAG agent, which would retrieve all the information, scan the entire site. Then I have another agent doing, okay, let's say I will do a burp suite test for any sort of vulnerabilities. Look for then another agent would do a WASP zap test. Another agent would do, I think there's about 6 or 7 agents doing a whole bunch of things and then compiling all of the data together. And you saw that in how many seconds? Like maybe 40 seconds, and then you have an entire scan of your site. But we actually built this as a AI SEO tool. So
Mm.
instead of people actually doing SEO, because I know that's a nightmare, I hate SEO. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people that hate SEO. And we just thought, well, that's a problem out there. Let's just fix that by building a SEO tool that could actually do that. And
Yeah.
now I can just scan a website. It will give me everything wrong in the indexes. It will in the HTML, the tags that's missing. It will do SEO better than anybody else can. That I can
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah.
And then all you do is you do one scan. 40 seconds later, you send it to the developer. You say fix to these things, and you immediately start ranking better. That sort of cost is like what, $3,000 just for that type of work. Whereas this would do it in 40 seconds. So I don't even have to charge anybody. I can choose to create this as a SaaS, put it on a website, and then have a subscription model or maybe a cost to do SEO. Not even $3,000, but be funny and maybe make it $15. And that's just really
Yeah. It does.
undercutting everybody, and nobody can compete then.
Yeah.
Or what I can do is let's sell this sucker to SMMAs that do SEO.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And what I can do is if I do sell it to a SMMI, I'll tell them, listen, I have the ability to make this a SaaS myself. But because you're getting it, we can have a contract that I don't do anything SaaS related or SEO related for the next year on this platform.
Mm.
But then they get the platform exclusively.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Everybody wins that way.
Yeah. They're not going to say no.
Exactly. Make the
Yeah.
offer. That's one thing I also learned from Michael. Michael uses a lot of Alex Hormozy sales points like that. Make the offer irresistible.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's
Okay.
it. I mean, and that's the thing. It's finding these areas and be like, this is so good, and because it's so new in that respect, it's like no one else is doing that. So you like, to be like, whoa, okay, well, it really is too good to be true, but it is, So it's yeah. No, perfect.
But yeah, right. I see. We are sort of running out of time for the time that I allocated. But did we manage to
Yeah.
go through all of your questions that you wanted to ask?
Yeah, no, that was really good. And I'll chat sort of off this as well, just to go over a couple of things there, just to shore up there, so I can talk to my mate, and he can sort of say to these people, look, feelers first, this is this. Okay, great. Okay, well, we might have something there for you, and then we can sort of go that way, and then maybe discuss the things a bit more down the line once things have sort of firmed up a bit more.
100%.
Uh,
What I can
yeah,
ask you is why
sure.
don't we just book some time with him, like the two of us, both of us get on a call with him, or you can be face to face with him, slap a laptop on together, and then let's connect and let's do
Yeah,
a discovery call, and then see what
yeah,
is the actual pain points in the company, work that out, and actually say, listen, this is possible MVPs that we can deliver,
yeah. No,
and
that'd be
yeah,
great. Yeah,
yeah, and
he's on holiday at the
cut you in
moment,
on
so
the deal, man. I mean,
yeah,
if you're gonna do, let's say, if we had to do something AI in the box related, and it's quite extensive code, let's say it's a 100K system, I'm willing to give you 20% just on the sale.
yeah.
That's
Okay,
a 20K just for the sale.
yeah, yeah. That sounds good. Sounds good. He's on holiday at the moment, so uh, I'll text him. I'll text him anyway. So I've already texted him beforehand, but and then when we come back, I can sort of try and shore something up there. That would be perfect.
No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, that'd be great. Excellent. Great. Cheers. Thanks so much. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
No problems. Cheers.
Cheers, my
Thanks.
man. Keep well.
Bye.
Bye.